I've seen the weight you have been carrying in silence, the kind that no one around you fully understands, the kind that settles into your chest at night and refuses to let you rest. And even now, as you listen, there is a part of you that feels tired in a way sleep cannot fix, a quiet exhaustion that comes from waiting too long, hoping too many times, and feeling like something unseen has been pressing against your life, holding things back without explanation. But hear me closely, because this moment is not random. You did not arrive here by accident. I have been watching you in the hidden places. I have heard every unspoken cry, every breath you held back so no one would notice your struggle. And right now, in this very moment, I am stepping into that silent space you thought no one could reach. I am touching what has been hurting without words, and I am bringing a warning not to frighten you, but to awaken you. Because something around you has been shifting. Something you ignored, something you felt but couldn't name. And I am telling you now that I am intervening before it grows, before it takes more from you than it already has. I am positioning things, removing what you could not see, and preparing a path you did not know was being formed. But you must stay attentive. You must not dismiss what you feel in your spirit today. Because this is the moment I am calling you back into alignment, into protection, into clarity. And as you receive this message, I ask you to respond not as a viewer, but as someone who knows this is me reaching for you right now. So write in the comments as a sign of faith that you hear my voice. Subscribe as a commitment to stay under this guidance. Turn on the notifications as a decision to remain alert to what I will reveal next. Leave your like as an act of agreement with what I am doing in your life. And share this message as a confirmation before me that you are not ignoring this call, but stepping into what I am beginning in you today. There are moments when you sit in silence and feel something is not right, even when everything around you seems normal, and that quiet discomfort has been growing inside you without explanation, as if your spirit has been trying to warn you, but you kept pushing it aside, telling yourself it was nothing, telling yourself you were just tired. But I tell you now that what you felt was not illusion, it was perception. It was the part of you that still hears me, even when your mind tries to rationalize everything. And I have been allowing you to feel this unrest because there are things around you that no longer belong to the path I am preparing for you. And I need you to stop ignoring the subtle signals that have been repeating in your days, the same patterns, the same delays, the same emotional weight returning again and again. Because this is how I have been trying to get your attention without overwhelming you, gently, patiently, but clearly. And now the moment has come for you to recognize that what you are sensing is real, and that I am guiding you away from what would slowly drain your strength, even if it does not look dangerous on the surface. Because not everything that harms you arrives with noise. Some things enter quietly and settle into your life until you no longer question them, and I refuse to let that continue without awakening you. You have been carrying more than you admit, holding responsibilities that were never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders, and pretending strength when inside you felt the slow accumulation of fatigue, the kind that makes your breath heavier and your thoughts slower. And I have watched you try to endure it without asking for help, convincing yourself that this is just how life is now, that this constant pressure is normal. But I tell you, it is not. And I did not create you to live under a weight that suffocates your spirit. And what you have been feeling is not weakness. It is the signal that something in your environment, in your relationships, or even in your own inner dialogue has been misaligned with the peace I intended for you. And I am exposing this now because you have reached a point where continuing like this would slowly disconnect you from your own sense of purpose. And I will not allow you to lose yourself in silent endurance. I am intervening precisely because I see how close you were to accepting this condition as permanent. There are nights when your body lies still, but your mind refuses to rest, replaying moments, questioning decisions, carrying conversations that never ended. And I have been present in every one of those nights, even when you felt alone, even when the silence around you felt heavier than any noise, and what you interpreted as isolation was often the space where I was closest, observing, preparing, and waiting for the moment when your heart would become quiet enough to hear me again. Because there is a difference between loneliness and separation, and you have never been separated from me, not even in your most distant thoughts. But I allowed you to feel the weight of those nights, so you could begin to recognize what has been draining you during your days. The subtle choices, the quiet compromises, the things you accepted just to keep going. And now I'm bringing clarity into what once felt confusing, because you are ready to see what was hidden in plain sight. You have questioned your own intuition, doubting what you feel, dismissing your inner warnings as overthinking, and that doubt has kept you in situations longer than you should have stayed. But I tell you now that the sensitivity you carry is not a flaw, it is a form of discernment that I placed within you. And when you feel that tension, that discomfort you cannot fully explain, it is not random, it is your spirit reacting to something your eyes cannot yet confirm, and I am restoring your trust in that perception, because you will need it in the days ahead. You will need to recognize what aligns with peace and what quietly disturbs it. And I am teaching you to pay attention again, not through fear, but through awareness, because I am not calling you into anxiety. I am calling you into clarity, into a state where you no longer ignore what your spirit has been trying to show you. There are connections in your life that have become heavy, interactions that leave you more drained than fulfilled, and you have tolerated them out of habit, out of responsibility, or out of fear of change. But I am showing you now that not everything you carry is yours to keep, and some things that once had purpose in your life have already completed their time, even if you have not fully accepted it yet, and holding on to what is no longer aligned will only deepen the fatigue you have been feeling. And I am not asking you to act impulsively, I am asking you to become aware, to begin noticing how certain environments affect your spirit, how certain words linger in your mind longer than they should, how certain presences disturb your inner peace, because awareness is the first step toward release. And I'm guiding you through this process so that when the moment comes to let go, you will do it with clarity, not confusion. You have been waiting for something to change externally, for circumstances to shift, for answers to arrive clearly. But I tell you that the first movement is already happening within you, in the way you are beginning to question what once felt normal, in the way certain things no longer feel right, even if you cannot explain why. And this inner shift is not accidental. It is the beginning of your realignment. The moment where you start to see your life from a different perspective, not through exhaustion, but through awareness. And I am carefully repositioning your perception so that you can recognize what needs to be adjusted before it becomes a deeper source of pain, because prevention is also a form of protection, and I am protecting you even now, even before you fully understand what I am doing. There is a part of you that feels afraid of what this awareness might require, afraid of change, afraid of stepping away from what is familiar, even if it no longer brings peace. And I understand that fear. I see how it holds you back, how it makes you hesitate even when you know something is not right. But I am not leading you into uncertainty without purpose. I am leading you out of a quiet limitation that has been shaping your life without your consent, and what feels like risk now will become relief when you look back. Because what I remove is never meant to harm you, and what I redirect is always aligned with your restoration. And you do not have to understand every step to trust the direction I am guiding you toward. You have felt moments where your strength seemed to disappear without warning, days when even simple tasks felt heavier than they should, and you questioned what was wrong with you, but I tell you now, it was not you. It was the accumulation of what you have been carrying, the emotional weight, the unresolved tensions, the silent pressures that built up over time, and your body and your spirit responded the only way they could, by slowing you down, by forcing you to feel what you were trying to ignore. And I allowed this not as punishment, but as interruption, a necessary pause to prevent you from continuing on a path that would exhaust you even more. And now that you are aware, you can begin to release what no longer belongs in your life. I'm not bringing this warning to burden you, but to free you, because once you see clearly, you are no longer trapped in what you do not understand, and clarity dissolves confusion, and understanding breaks patterns that once felt permanent. And I am giving you both right now, in this moment, as you listen, as you reflect, as you begin to connect what you feel with what you are hearing. And this is the turning point where awareness becomes action, not forced, not rushed, but natural, guided, and supported. Because I am not asking you to walk this path alone. I am walking with you through every step, every decision, every realization that comes from this awakening. And as this understanding settles within you, you will begin to feel a quiet shift, a lightness that replaces the tension you have carried for so long, not all at once, but gradually, as you release what no longer belongs, as you accept what I am revealing, and as you allow yourself to move forward without the weight that once held you back. And this is where your renewal begins, not in a dramatic change, but in a subtle transformation that reshapes how you see, how you feel, and how you choose. And from this point forward, you will no longer ignore what your spirit shows you, because now you know that I have been speaking to you all along, and you are finally listening. There are moments when you look at your own life and quietly wonder how you ended up carrying so much without anyone truly noticing, how the days kept moving while something inside you slowly grew heavier. And I have seen that silent accumulation, the way you learned to function even when your spirit felt tired, the way you kept showing up for others while parts of you remained unattended. And I tell you now that this weight was never meant to become your normal, because what you have been enduring is not just fatigue. It is the result of misalignment that has been building over time. Small compromises, repeated pressures, unspoken expectations that settled into your routine until you no longer questioned them. And I am bringing this into your awareness not to overwhelm you, but to gently begin separating what belongs to you from what never did. Because clarity is the beginning of your restoration. You have been strong for longer than most people realize, but that strength has come at a cost you rarely acknowledge. A quiet depletion that does not show on the outside but lives in your thoughts, in your breathing, in the way your energy fades before the day is even over. And I have watched you try to carry it with dignity, without complaint, telling yourself that you just need to push a little more, endure a little longer. But I am telling you now that endurance without renewal leads to exhaustion of the soul. And I did not design you to survive like this. I designed you to live with balance, with moments of rest that restore you, not just physically, but deeply, internally, where your spirit finds space to breathe again. There have been decisions you made, not because they felt right, but because they felt necessary. Choices shaped by pressure, by responsibility, by the fear of disappointing others or disrupting what seemed stable. And those decisions slowly created a version of your life that no longer reflects what your heart truly needs. And I have allowed you to feel this internal tension so you would begin to recognize that something within you has been asking for change, not in a loud or dramatic way, but in subtle signals, in discomfort, in moments where you pause and feel that something is missing or out of place. And that feeling is not confusion, it is awareness beginning to surface. You have questioned whether it is too late to change certain things, whether the path you are on has already been set, whether the life you built can still be adjusted without causing disruption. And I tell you now that it is not too late. Because as long as you can feel this awareness, as long as you can recognize that something is not aligned, There is still movement available to you. There is still space for adjustment. And I am opening that space gradually, not by forcing sudden change, but by shifting your perception so that what once felt fixed begins to reveal new possibilities. And you will start to see that change does not always require destruction. Sometimes it begins with small, conscious decisions that slowly reshape your direction. There are patterns in your life that repeat in different forms, situations that seem different on the surface but carry the same emotional weight. And you have felt this repetition without fully understanding why it keeps happening. But I am showing you now that these patterns are not random. They are connected to what you have accepted as normal, to what you have tolerated without questioning. And as your awareness grows, you will begin to recognize these patterns more clearly, not to blame yourself, but to understand where your power to change them truly lies. Because once you see the pattern, you are no longer controlled by it. You have been seeking answers externally, waiting for something or someone to bring clarity into your situation. But the answers you are looking for have already begun forming within you, in the way your perspective is shifting, in the way your tolerance for certain things is decreasing, in the way you are starting to feel differently about what once felt acceptable. And this internal shift is not accidental. It is the result of me working within you, aligning your perception with what is true, with what supports your peace. And as you continue to listen, to reflect, to pay attention to these changes, you will find that the clarity you were searching for begins to emerge naturally. There is a quiet fear within you that change might lead to loss, that letting go of what is familiar might leave you uncertain. And I understand that fear. I see how it makes you hesitate, how it keeps you holding on to things that no longer bring you peace. But I am not leading you into emptiness. I am guiding you into alignment, and what you release will create space for what truly belongs in your life, even if you cannot fully see it yet. And I am asking you to trust not in what you can immediately understand, but in the direction you are being gently guided toward. Because this process is not random, it is intentional, it is precise, and it is aligned with your restoration. You have carried responsibilities that made you feel indispensable, as if everything depends on you, as if stepping back would cause everything to fall apart. And that belief has kept you in a constant state of pressure, always alert, always trying to manage what feels beyond your control. But I tell you now that not everything depends on you, and releasing that belief will not cause collapse. It will create balance, because you are not meant to hold everything together alone, and I am helping. You see where you can step back, where you can breathe, where you can allow life to move without carrying it entirely on your shoulders. There are parts of you that have been waiting for permission to rest, to slow down, to choose differently, but you have not allowed yourself that permission, thinking that you must continue as you are, that stopping or changing would be a sign of weakness. But I tell you now that recognizing your limits is not weakness, it is awareness, and honoring that awareness is the beginning of your healing. Because when you listen to what your spirit is telling you, you begin to move in alignment with what truly sustains you, not just what demands your energy. And as you continue in this awareness, you will begin to notice subtle shifts, a sense of lightness where there was once tension, moments of clarity where there was once confusion. And this is how your renewal unfolds, not in sudden transformation, but in a gradual realignment that brings you back to yourself, back to a state where your life reflects not just what you can endure, but what you are meant to experience with peace, with balance, with a renewed sense of direction that no longer feels forced but guided. And in this process, you will understand that what once felt overwhelming was not your destiny, but a phase you were meant to recognize and move beyond. There were moments when you almost spoke, when the words reached the edge of your lips but never crossed into sound, because you had learned that not every space was safe for your truth, and so you swallowed what you felt, again and again, until silence became your refuge and your prison at the same time. And I have seen every one of those restrained breaths, every hesitation, every internal negotiation where you chose peace on the outside at the cost of unrest within. And I tell you now that the voice you have been holding back was never meant to disappear. It was meant to be refined, strengthened, and eventually released in the right moment. And that moment is beginning to approach, not with noise, but with clarity that will make your next words feel necessary rather than optional. You have carried guilt that does not fully belong to you, a quiet sense of responsibility for things you could not control, as if you should have done more, said more, prevented what unfolded. And this weight has followed you in subtle ways, influencing how you see yourself, how you judge your own decisions, how you measure your worth. And I am bringing this into the light because you cannot move freely while carrying burdens that were never assigned to you. And I am gently separating truth from distortion within your thoughts, showing you where compassion for yourself must replace the harshness you have internalized over time. There is a part of your story that you rarely revisit, not because it is forgotten, but because it still carries an emotional charge that you have not fully processed. And even when you move forward, that part remains quietly active beneath the surface, shaping your reactions, your expectations, your fears. And I have allowed this memory to remain present, not to trap you, but to bring you to a point where you are ready to look at it without being consumed by it, to understand it without reliving it. And in this understanding, you will begin to reclaim the energy that has been tied to that unresolved space. You have been searching for signs outside of yourself, waiting for confirmation, for direction, for something that tells you clearly what to do next. But I tell you now that the confirmation you seek has already been forming within you. In the way your tolerance has changed, in the way certain things no longer feel acceptable, in the way your inner voice has become more persistent, even when you tried to ignore it. And this internal clarity is not coincidence. It is the result of alignment, taking place quietly, steadily, preparing you to move with certainty rather than hesitation. There are environments that once felt neutral, but now feel heavy. Conversations that leave an aftertaste you cannot ignore. Moments where you feel a subtle withdrawal from situations that no longer resonate with you. And this shift is not random. It is your awareness sharpening, your perception becoming more attuned to what supports your peace and what disrupts it. And I am guiding you through this sensitivity, not to isolate you, but to help you discern where your energy is best placed, where your presence is nurtured rather than drained. You have feared that setting boundaries might create distance, that choosing yourself might be interpreted as rejection, and so you continued to give, to accommodate, to remain available, even when it cost you more than you were receiving. But I tell you now that boundaries are not barriers, they are definitions. They clarify what is healthy, what is sustainable, what allows you to remain whole while still being present in the lives of others. And I am teaching you to establish these boundaries, not with conflict, but with calm certainty that does not require justification. There are habits of thought that have repeated for so long that they feel like truth, patterns of self-doubt, of second-guessing, of minimizing your own perception. And these patterns have quietly limited how you respond to what you feel, often leading you to override your own clarity in favor of external validation. But I am dismantling these patterns now, gently, persistently, replacing them with a steadiness that allows you to trust what you perceive without needing constant confirmation. And this shift will change how you move through your decisions. You have been waiting for the right moment to act, for a clear signal that removes all uncertainty. But I tell you that clarity does not always arrive as certainty. Sometimes it arrives as a quiet knowing that does not need to be proven. And I am guiding you to recognize that knowing, to honor it, to allow it to inform your next steps, even if those steps are small, even if they are internal. Because movement does not always begin externally. Sometimes it begins in how you think, in how you choose, in how you respond differently than before. There is a restoration taking place within you that is not immediately visible. A reordering of your thoughts, your priorities, your perception of what truly matters. And this process is gradual, intentional, designed to bring you back into alignment with a life that reflects not just what you can handle, but what brings you peace. And as this restoration continues, you will begin to notice that what once felt overwhelming becomes manageable, what once felt confusing becomes clear, and what once felt heavy begins to lift. And as you step further into this awareness, you will realize that the warning you received was not meant to create fear, but to awaken you before deeper imbalance could take root. And now that you are awake to what you feel, to what you see, to what you understand, you are no longer moving blindly. You are moving with intention, with discernment, with a renewed connection to the voice that has been guiding you all along. And from this point forward, your choices will begin to reflect that clarity, shaping a path that no longer drains you, but supports your restoration. If this message has spoken to your heart, I invite you to be part of our mission to spread faith and hope. Subscribe to the channel now, leave a like, and share this message with those you love. Every action you take can bring comfort and transformation to more lives. I would truly love to know how this word touched you, so please write in the comments. I will read each one and be praying for you and your family. Let's illuminate the world together with the Word of God. See you soon, and may God bless you.